Hello, baseball fans. Anthony with BBSN, and we are back with our Status Pro Advanced 1976 Game of the Week replay. And tonight's game is actually one I had earmarked and was looking forward to from the time I started this project. And this is the replay of the June 28th, 1976 showdown between Mark the Bird Fidrych and the New York Yankees. And this was a primetime telecast, and I actually vividly remember watching this game as a 13-year-old. And really the game that kind of propelled Fidrych. He was being known, or he had been known prior to this, obviously, with some of his antics, and was kind of making news. But this was really the game, primetime broadcast against the Bronx Bombers, who would go on to win the pennant that year. And this was really the game that catapulted him into the national spotlight as kind of a, I guess, almost legendary figure for his antics on the mound, and just the fact that he was a good old-fashioned down-home kind of guy, aw shucks kind of personality, really just kind of a hippie, and played ball for the right reason. There was no shtick or act with the Bird. He was out there doing what he had always done and having a good time. So excited to finally get to this game. And even though he defeated my beloved Yankees 5-1 on that night, still, I guess, out of character, hoping he does well. He has had one other start in this replay, did not do so well in that outing. So we will see if things change tonight. First thing we're going to do is roll for stuff, and Fidrych is opposing Kenny Holtzman on the mound for the Yanks. So in Tiger Stadium, 15 or less is a good stuff adjustment. 76 or more is a bad stuff adjustment. So we will go Fidrych first. He has normal stuff, and Holtzman has normal stuff as well. So no changes there. Fidrych is 2-7 against lefties, 2-8 against righties. So definitely a tough card that would befit the season he had. Holtzman not so good against Kenny's not so good against anyone in 76. He was 4-17. I'm sorry, 9-7 with a 4.17 ERA in 76. Only 2-5 against lefties, and even worse, 2-4 against righties. So Tigers should get plenty of opportunities to jump on Holtzman in this one and give the Bird a victory if he can just pitch up to his capabilities. So without further ado, starting lineups. For my Yankees, leading off in center field, Mickey Rivers, Roy White in left, Carlos May, designated hitter, bats third, Chris Chambliss at first, Greg Nettles at the hot corner, Oscar Gamble in right, Ellie Hendricks behind the plate, Willie Randolph at second, and Jim Mason will be the shortstop tonight for the Bombers. For your homestanding Tigers, we're speedy Ron LaFleur in center field, Tom Verizor at short, Rusty Staub, LeGrande Orange in right, Alex Johnson the DH, Jason Thompson at first, Aurelio Rodriguez at third, Mickey Stanley in left, manning the keystone position, Pedro Garcia, and behind the plate and catching the Bird is Bruce Kim. So Mickey Rivers is ready to go. First pitch, and here we go. Rick Rivers, a southpaw, and 5 going to be off of Fidrych's card, 75, and that is going to be an out. So Mickey, fly ball to deep right field, and going back to haul that in on the warning track is Rusty Staub, and no error on the play, 1 down. And we are underway. So Fidrych facing Roy White. And it's going to be off Fidrych's card, 73 against the switch hitting right. That will be an out as well. And ground ball down to third base. No error on the play there, so taking care of that easily is Aurelio Rodriguez. And 2 quick outs for the Yanks. Brings up designated hitter Carlos May. And again, going old school, nothing but cards in this one. Fidrych's card 62, and that's going to be an out, left-handed hitting May. And that is going to be a fly ball to deep center field. And again, going back to the track almost to the wall, hauling that in is Ron LaFleur. So a couple of long, loud outs, but the Yankees go harmlessly 3 up, 3 down, and we head to the bottom of the first, no score. Speedy Ron LaFleur up against Holtzman. Clutch batting is not going to apply. And we're going to have a rare play, Z. So off the Z chart, 12. And, wow. So Holtzman going to be around long here. Pitcher ejected for arguing balls and strikes and a walk. So Ken Holtzman faces all of one batter, and he is going to get tossed. So we're going to have to go to the pen early in this one, as Holtzman has his day come to an end. Does not go get credit for doing anything but walking LaFleur. So one batter night for Holtzman, and going to the pen. We're going to bring in Dick Tidrow. And Tidrow actually started 2 games. And for play purposes, since Holtzman only faced one batter, we're going to consider Tidrow a starter. So he'll get his full reduction rating of 13. So, no shortage of excitement here early. Tidrow is going to be 2-5 against lefties, and I think 2-6. Holy crap, someone needs their prescriptions updated. That's terrible. 2-5 against lefties, 2-8 against righties. All right, so LaFleur on at first, and LaFleur, he is a double-A stealer. He's going to go right off the bat here. So first card, 18, and LaFleur steals that easily, and no error check there. So walk and a stolen base for LaFleur, and the Tigers are in business, and Fader Chappie in the dugout, runner in scoring position for Tom Verizon. And going to be a clutch defense check. And clutch D against the right-hand normal hitter is going to be left field. So in left field, Roy White is a 4. And 75 on the left fielder. And 4, and fielder makes a running catch, deep fly on the warning track runner on third score. So LaFleur, he was halfway, he's going to have to go back. And a lung out for Verizon. So the Tigers, plenty of drama early in this one. 12 going to be off Rusty Staub's card, 43. And against the right-handed pitching Tidrow, 43 is going to be a walk. So Staub trots down to first base. And Tidrow issues his first walk of the game. Tigers in business, 1 down, first and second. Alex Johnson, the batter. And going to be off Johnson's card, 36. And 36 against the right-hander. Swing and a miss, Tidrow. Gets the high heat in there and strikes Johnson out, so 2 down. And Jason Thompson, the power-hitting lefty, steps in. And 7 going to be off Thompson's card. 13, that's going to be in play, and it's going to be a single to center field. And 33, LaFleur, he is going to come around easy to score. And they are going to make no play on him. And going over to third is going to be Staub. So runners at the corner and a run in. Tigers break on top 1-0 in this one, as Thompson gets the RBI single. And Aurelio Rodriguez, the Tigers' third sacker, steps in. And Rodriguez, right-handed hitter, 8 is going to be off Tidrow's card, 52. And 52 is going to be another base on ball. So Tidrow, sacks are loaded as he's struggling here early in this one. So 2 down, Mickey Stanley up, and Stanley digs in. Here comes a pitch, clutch batting, and runners are on. Here comes a flip on clutch batting, 38. And 38, and that is going to be an out. Tidrow is clutch, yes, so that is going to be a strikeout. So Tidrow comes up with a big strikeout there to get Stanley. Tigers, they push only 1 across, leave the sacks loaded on the benefit of 3 walks and a hit. So we head to the top of the second inning, and Tigers 1-0. Fidrich on the mound. Get a hold on to that lead, do better than he did his first time up. Chris Chambliss, the batter, going to be off Fidrich's card, 46. That'll be an out. And Chambliss against the right-hander. He is a left-handed normal hitter. That's a fly out to right field. No error, one down. Next up, power hitting third baseman Greg Nettles. Stares down Fidrich. Here comes a pitch. Going to be off Fidrich's card, 56. And left-handed hitting Nettles. That's going to be an out. And a ground ball down to first base. 18-20, but no problem there. A bobble at first base by Jason Thompson. Collects it, goes to the bag himself. 3 unassisted, 2 down. So Fidrich, 5 up, 5 down. And Oscar Gamble, he of the Magnificent Fro, steps in. And it's going to be off of Fidrich's card. And that will be an out. And Gamble, against the right-hander, is a power hitter. And that is going to be a fly ball to left field. And 3-26, Roy White. I'm sorry, not Roy White. Mickey Stanley, he is a 3, so that's going to be an error. And on the outfield, that'll be an error 5. So error 5 on the F7, and that is going to be a bad cutoff throw. Runners advance 1 base, E7, so that is actually going to end up being a catch. And Yankees up and down in order again, so we head to the bottom of the second inning. And score is Tigers 1, Yankees 0. And leading off for the Tigers, second baseman Pedro Garcia. Dick Tidrow in for the ejected Ken Holtzman. Going to be off Garcia's card. And 65 against the right-hander. That's going to be an out. Ground ball in front of the plate, and picking that up is Hendricks. Fires to first base, 1 down. So 2-3 on the put out there, and that brings up the Tigers catcher Bruce Kim. And going to be off Kim's card, 18 against the right-hander. That's going to be a single into center field, and no error on that. 8 is above the range of Mickey Rivers. So Tigers have their second hit of the day, and back to the top of the order. The speedy Ron LaFleur steps in, and LaFleur drew a walk that sent Kenny Holtzman to an early shower in the first inning. Clutch defense play, and against the right-handed normal hitter, it's going to be third base. So Nettles down there, he's a 5. That's as good as it gets, folks. And the flip, 58, and Nettles charges slow roller barehanded, nails batter at first base, or throws a runner out on third on home. Others advance. So he's going to make a nice play to gun down LaFleur. 5-3 on the putout. Going to second base is Bruce Kim. Tigers, another runner in scoring position. 2 outs for Tom Verizor, the shortstop. And Tom, can you hear me now? Going to be off Tidrow's card, 27, and Tidrow winds up and punches him out. Strikeout. So Verizor down. Tigers get a hit here in the second inning. Leave 1, and we head to the top of the third. 1-0 Detroit in the lead. And Fidrich showing no cracks in the armor thus far. This is going to be off Hendricks' card, 82. That's going to be an out. And ground ball down to shortstop. No error there. 1 down as Verizor makes a play. And things unfolding. I remember Fidrich, it was a joy to watch this game, even though I was rooting hard for the Yankees. Off of Fidrich's card, just seeing him in action. And this was the first time I got to see him live as a kid. Thought he was a goof, and I didn't know whether to hate him or love him. Ended up loving the player he was and the person he was, too. This be an out. Randolph, ground ball down to third base. And down there at the hot corner, Rodriguez, 5-20. And Rodriguez, he is a 3, so he makes a nice play on that. 2 down. And Fidrich, perfect through the first 8 batters. Jim Mason up. 5 is going to be off of Fidrich's card. And 24. And against the left-handed hitting Mason, that is going to be a single. So Mason breaks up the no-no in the perfect game. kind of early to be celebrating that. Off the pitcher's card, so no error check. And the Yankees have their first base runner of the night. Mick the Quick steps up. Man with the most unique SPAA or better must steal. Not going to happen. SPC or better must steal. And Mason is an E, so he is going absolutely nowhere. We resume. And 8 going to be off Rivers' card, 33 against the right-hander. And Mick the Quick, he's got a double. So that's driven into the gap. And Mason, he is a B. 36 on a double off batter's card for a B. And he's going to be held at third base. So the Yankees threatening. Runners on second, third is Mickey Rivers. A little bit of two-out lightning in the offing here. Roy White steps up with a chance to give the Yanks a lead. Going to be off White's card. He gets a big cut at that 57 against the right-hander. And Roy White draws a base on ball. Sacks will be loaded. So Fidrich, he started perfecto through 8 batters and now is in trouble. Sacks are jammed with Yankees, and Carlos May, a chance to be the early hero here. 7 going to be off Fidrich's card, though. And 34 against the right or left-hander. And that is going to be an out. So Carlos May, chance to do something, drives it deep into right field instead. And going back to make the catch against the wall is Rusty Staub. Second nice play Staub's made out there. And Yankees are retired, so a couple of hits and a walk, but no runs to show for it. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, 1-0, the Bird and Detroit in the lead. As Rusty Staub, who made that nice running catch running into the wall, leads it off against Tidrow. And 7 going to be off Tidrow's card, and 28 against the left-hander. And 28 will be a potential pass ball, nobody on, so that will be an out. As Rusty Staub is going to ground that back to the pitcher, and Tidrow, unless he is a 0 error, and he is, actually no, he's a 9. So Tidrow, pitcher, that's going to be an error 3. Not helping his own cause there. And G1, pitcher fumbles comebacker, OBR D or E out at first. Others are safe at first, E1. So Rusty Staub is a D, and Tidrow able to recover nicely. And throw out the lumbering La Grande Orange at first, 1 down, and Alex Johnson up to DH. Johnson, he struck out his first time up, 3 coming off Tidrow's card, and 21 against the right-hander, and it's going to be a single back up the middle. So Johnson has a 1-out hit for the Tigers, as Tidrow, that is the 6th point against his fatigue rating, and Jason Thompson, who's driven in the game's only run, steps up, and power hitting first baseman going to be off Tidrow's card, 83. That'll be an out. As Thompson, fly ball to center field. Mick the Quick, no problem. Taps his glove, puts it away, 2 down. And Aurelio Rodriguez up. And the Tigers' third baseman, he walked his first time up. 11 going to be off of Rodriguez's card. And 66, that's going to be an out. Fly ball to left field. Roy White coming in a few steps. 10 to 20 on the air, but White is much better than that. Makes the play, and 3 down. So the Tigers get yet another hit, but leave that runner on base, and we are through 3. Detroit leads this by a score of 1-0. And get our discard pile out of the way here. So Chris Chambliss is set to lead off the 4th inning against Fidrich, and here comes pitch. And that's going to be off Chambliss's card. That will be an out, however. And fly ball to deep center field. And going back to pull that in is LaFleur. No error on the play. Nice running catch. 1 down. So the Bird back on track after getting himself into trouble in the 3rd. Greg Nettles, a batter. Going to be off of Fidrich's card. 55. That's an out. And Nettles, it's going to be a fly ball to right field. No error on the play out there. Staub puts that away. 2 quick outs for the Yanks, and that brings up Oscar Gamble. Gamble, his first time up, flew out to left field. Here comes a pitch. Off of Fidrich's card again, and 61 against the left-hander. That's going to be an out. And a fly ball to deep center field. Going back is LaFleur, and catches it 3 steps short of the wall. So 3 flyouts for the Yankees. They go down in order in the 4th, heading to the bottom of the frame. Tigers still lead this one 1-0. Mickey Stanley up. And Stanley facing Tidrow, who is the de facto starter after Ken Holtzman lasted all of 1 batter before getting tossed. And going to be off Tidrow's card, right-handed hitting Stanley. He's going to take a big cut, a big miss. Goes down on strikes for the 2nd time as Tidrow rings him up. 1 down. Pedro Garcia again coming off of Tidrow's card, and 53 against the right-hander. And that is going to be a walk. So Tidrow continues to suffer from bouts of wildness here in this one as Garcia trots down to first. Bruce Kim, the batter. Coming off of Kim's card, and 28 against the right-hander, and that is going to be a double for Kim. So Garcia, he is an A, I think. Yeah. That lowercase on my scorecard. He is an A, so rounding third. Is he going to try and get home? And 45 and an A. He is held up. Puts on the brakes and goes back to third base. So second and third now for the Tigers. And going back to the top of the order, LaFleur has a chance to give the Tigers and Fidrich some cushion in this one as he faces Dick Tidrow. LaFleur can run, and here comes a pitch, and 9 going to be off LaFleur's card. 12, and that is bad news. That's going to be a single into center field. That could potentially get 2 runs home. Kim is a D, and 88, and that is going to be a challenge play. So 24 on the challenge, and a D, and he is going to be safe. Wow. So he gets in under the tag there of Elrod Hendricks, and the Yankees now find themselves in a 3-0 hole. And that's going to get some action going in the Yankees bullpen, as Tidrow is up to 10 now on his fatigue rating. So down there for the Yankees, we have Tippy Martinez is up and throwing. Better known for his days in Baltimore, as Tom Verizor comes up. And LaFleur, he's going to stay put at first base. 8, right-handed hitting Verizor. That's going to be off Tidrow's card. And 21, probably wishes it was not. And that is a single. So single to center field, and Tidrow is an A, or a LaFleur. He gets to third easily. So runners at the corner, still only 1 out in the inning as Tidrow continues to struggle. He has got 2 batters left in him in terms of fatigue. Rusty Staub up, going to have a clutch defense play. And this will be the catcher. So behind the dish, Hendricks is a 1. And 47 on the catcher. And catcher slow out of the box, infield single, runners advance 1 base, and that means LaFleur is going to sneak in past him. Going on contact, so Staub has an RBI single. And the Tigers extend their lead to 4-0, and that's going to be it for Tidrow. He is done. So Tidrow, he goes 3 1/3 inning is all. Gave up 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. He definitely was wild in this one too. He walked. Walked 4 and had 4 strikeouts. So Tidrow, he was kind of on the ropes the entire time, and still has runners on base that are his responsibility. So Tippy Martinez The left-hander, is going to take his warm-up shots. And Tippy hated him when he was with the Orioles. He seemed to always be a nemesis of the Yankees. Let's check his stuff first of all. And 41 will be normal stuff. So Tippy, 2 and 5 against left-handers. Actually, if you get on his card, it's pretty good. Actually, going to be a strikeout about half the time. And 2 and 9 against righties. All right, so we will see if the Tigers can continue to keep up the onslaught here. Runners on first and second, Staub and Verizon. Alex Johnson, the batter. And here comes a pitch, right-handed hitting Johnson. That's on Tippy's card, 45, and that's going to be a walk. So Yankee pitchers having all kinds of problems finding the strike zone, and Martinez has loaded the bases. Still only 1 out. Tigers looking to break this one open for the Bird. Jason Thompson, the batter, and we have yet another Z result. So 43, 2-1 game. Steady drizzle results in a wet field. Reduce OBR and SP of all runners for the remainder of the game. So everybody is going to go down a notch in terms of run ratings. That will definitely hamper the running game. And we will resume the at-bat. Thompson, 7 coming off of his card, 18. He's going to greet Martinez with a double down the right field line. And that could possibly clear the bases. At first base is Alex Johnson, who is a B. And 62, he is going to be held at third, but that's going to get 2 more runs across. And Tippy is not charged with fatigue points for those runs, but not helping the Yankees' cause as 2 more runs come across. That's 5 in the inning now as the Tigers lead this 6-0. Still only 1 out. Runners on second, third for Aurelio Rodriguez. Coming off of his card, 67. Are we going to mercifully get an out? Yes, we are. As Rodriguez, ground ball back to the pitcher. And Martinez, he is going to go the short way to third base. Get the lead runner, so fielder's choice. Or actually, runners on second, third here. He's going to just look them back and go the short way. So 1-3 on that put out. Tigers have now batted around. And the man who started this inning, harmlessly enough with a strikeout, Mickey Stanley, steps back in against Martinez. And 5, that'll be off Martinez's card. And finally, we're going to get out of this inning a long one for the Yankees, as that is going to be a fly ball to center field. Mickey Rivers puts that away, and the inning is mercifully over. But, always that but, the Tigers. Played 5 runs on 5 hits, and we are through 4 innings, and the Tigers and the Bird comfortably out in front, 6-0 in this one. So Fidrich, hope you didn't get too cold sitting on the sidelines there, facing Elrod Hendricks. Going to be off of Fidrich's card, and 23 against the lefty, and Hendricks has a single into right field. And again, coming off the pitcher's card, no error check. So we'll see if that long stint on the bench with his arm restless affects Fidrich here as Willie Randolph steps in. 7 going to be off of Fidrich's card, 41 against the right-hander, and that is going to be a potential wild pitch. Is it? No. So we will replay the at-bat, back off of Fidrich's card. And 26 on this one, swing and a miss. Fidrich rings up Randolph. 1 down. Back to first goes Hendricks. Jim Mason, the batter. 5, Fidrich's card. And 15, and that is going to be a single into center field. And Hendricks, OBR of C reduced to a D due to the wet weather conditions. So going first to third, a D, and he is going to be held at second base. So station to station go the Yanks. And Fidrich, that's his 4th hit allowed, and that's going to get back to the top of the order. 1 down for Mick the Quick, Mickey Rivers. See if we can make a little rally here against the Bird, and 8 is going to be off of Rivers' card, 32 against the right-hander, and Rivers, that's going to be a double down the left field line. And on at first base is Mason, who is a B, 73. And that is going to be, he's going to be held at third base. But coming in to score, the Yankees' first run of the game is Elrod Hendricks as Mickey Rivers delivers. A little bit of poetry to that. And the Yankees cut the lead to 6-1. Fidrich up to 7 now on his fatigue points, and Roy White the batter. And the switch hitting White will be batting left-handed. This is going to be off of his card, 73. That's an out. And Roy White ground ball down to second base, and that is going to be GX4 with the runner on third. So second, third back, and 4-3 on the putout. OBRA on third advances. That is not the case with the wet weather. So Mason's going to be held there. 4-3 is, and White is retired. So 2 down now, and the Bird looking to pitch out of this jam. Albeit a minor one, coming off a Bird's card, 86. That's going to be an out for Carlos May, and that'll be a ground ball down to second base. And no problem with that. And over to first base. Garcia to Thompson, and the Yankees are set down. So they made a little bit of noise, got 3 hits. All right, coming in on the end of the Status Pro Advanced Game of the Week replay, and the 1976 replay between the Yankees and Tigers, the nationally televised game that kind of launched the Bird into national prominence. If you're at this point of the video, you know the game ended rather abruptly. I guess some type of weather disturbance. Actually, had a recording malfunction, I guess. So did not completely record the game, and I didn't realize that until afterwards when I went to process it. So you get about half the game, unfortunately. But we'll recap it. The game ended up a 10-5 victory for the Tigers. Mark Fidrich went 6 1/3 innings and got the win in this. John Hiller could not quite hang on for the save. Steve Grilly came on in the 9th inning when the Yankees had the bases loaded and 2 outs and retired the final batter to nail it down. But just a brief recap, the Tigers scored a run in the first inning, and that came off a walk for Ron LaFleur, and Holtzman was ejected arguing that, but LaFleur came around to score an RBI single by Jason Thompson. And then in the bottom of the 4th inning, Tigers batted around and drove Tidrow out of the box, scored 5 runs on 5 hits in that inning to take a 6-0 lead. Yankees clawed back an RBI double by Rivers in the top of the 5th. Top of the 6th, Ellie Hendricks hit a solo shot to make it 6-2. And Tigers scratched one back in the bottom of the 6th inning. A RBI single by Alex Johnson drove home Rusty Staub, who had tripled, and I don't know if that was on the video or not, but that must have been quite the sight. And aging La Grande Orange, huffing and puffing around the bases to third base to make it 7-2. Yankees came back with 3 runs in the top of the 7th, knocked Fidrich out of the game, and that inning started with an error by second baseman Pedro Garcia, allowed Jim Mason to reach. And Mickey Rivers then singled, and Roy White stepped up and deposited a Mark Fidrich fastball on a 2-1 pitch into the right field bleachers in Yankee Stadium. So that cut the lead to 7-5, and at that point, Fidrich retired Carlos May, then gave up a single to Chris Chambliss and was replaced by John Hiller. Hiller induced a ground out and then retired Oscar Gamble on strikes to get out of the inning. Tigers put it away with a big 3-run 8th inning. That started with a double by Staub, and Staub almost hit for the cycle. He had a single, double, triple, and walked, missed the home run, scored 3 runs. He was actually our player of the game. But he led off with a double. A Alex Johnson flyout was followed by a walk to Jason Thompson. Aurelio Rodriguez singled in Staub. And then Mickey Stanley singled in Jason Thompson. And finally, the scoring was capped off by a Pedro Garcia double, which plated Aurelio Rodriguez. And that kind of closed the scoring. So the Tigers, with their final margin of victory, 10-5, our line score in this: New York, 5 runs on 11 hits, no errors. Detroit, 10 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors. And Mark Fidrich's final pitching line, as again he gets the win: 6 1/3, 9 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 1 walk, struck out 2, and gave up a couple of long balls. So that was how the game ended. And again, sorry for the recording mishap. I tried to record the direct to YouTube feature, and I should have known just to use my normal video phone camera. I do actually have a second external webcam, which should be here. Probably, I'm expecting it tomorrow or Thursday, so I'll be able to get back to doing some live broadcasts at that point, and look forward to that again, as I'm nowhere close to 1,000 subscribers yet. And then the other update I had at the end of the game, be picking up the cards for Glory Days Boxing mañana. Knocking off work a little bit early. We've got spring field work with football. Actually, 2 weeks away now from starting regular spring practice. We're just doing optional work right now on Wednesdays with the kids, working some installation and some 7-on-7s, trying to time up the passing game a little bit. We'll be a run-heavy team, but still need to be able to throw. So got that going on, and before practice I'm going to knock off and pick up the cards on the way to the high school. So tomorrow night, depending on when I get home, I may do a brief video and unveil the cards, the new printed set, how the final printed set's going to look. And again, today Joe got the links up on Sideline Strategy Games. You can't order Glory Days Boxing yet, but the game page is up there, and it's got a list of the fighters that are included in the game. Has some graphic work on there, and of course a description of the game and the coming soon title. So, and again, that's sidelinestrategy.com, where you order Payoff Pitch Baseball. Pleased to be partnering with Joe Bryan, who is the creator of Payoff Pitch, and will be distributing or releasing Glory Days Boxing for me. So those are the 2 updates on the game. Excited about both of them. Hopefully the cards turn out nice, and my video tomorrow is a good one, not me cursing out the printer for screwing up the cards. But I have faith in them. They've been really good to work with, so I'm totally confident I will get a nice product. And also, too, they're doing the, I decided to do the game chart, the game board, I guess you could say, and then the officials chart, getting them done on 130-pound card stock, so that'll be a little bit thicker and more durable. The fighter cards will be on 110-pound card stock. So that's it for recap of this game. And again, sorry, I probably only got about half of it, and a quick update on Glory Days Boxing. So thank you as always for watching and supporting the channel. Let's keep up that subscriber drive for friends of the community. A lot of great channels out there. Al, Red Sox fan, he's been doing a lot of chat with Al and friends. Always good stuff. A wide variety of people who can talk about a bunch of different things, and that is definitely always fun to watch. Rob is a maniac. He's posting 2 or 3 videos a game. He's got wrestling, Red Sox replay, which, you know, if you're into Red Sox, I guess you could watch that. But no, Rob's a great guy. He's got a real, I love his kind of down-home personality. He's definitely a guy I could hang out with and drink a couple of beers with. Uncle Ron with his midday sports replays at Retro Sports Network. Definitely worth checking out that channel. He just did a title bout fight, Roberto Duran and Shane Mosley. Ended up surprisingly close fight, even though Duran was pummeling Mosley in the later rounds. Uncle Ron always does a great job, so please support him. Chris at Stratomatic Delaware, Dave, Baseball Demos, the Earl and Earl Show, Tabletop Baseball Plus, Tons of great content. T-Dub at What's Blazing in Sports. If you're a boxing fan, check his channel out. A lot of great stuff there. Geez, the links are all on the side of my page. I always try and remember all of them, and I never can remember all of them. But just support friends of the community. Whoever we've subscribed to, I recommend checking their channels out. Great group of people out there. Utah Mike, oh darn it. I'm gonna have to put his channel in the comments because I'm drawing a big blank. I get stuck on that because I'm a BYU fan and he's a Utah fan, so that kind of stops me whenever I talk about him. But he does some great stuff as well. So again, just support friends of the community. Thanks for watching this, and look forward to doing the reveal, I guess, of the printed cards and what they're going to look like tomorrow or Thursday. So until then, keep rolling for the fences, or we did this with a card, so flip it for the fences. Status Pro Advanced, great game. Derek Beckner has done a great job reviving this, keeping it alive, and just as much fun to play now as it was back in the 80s and 90s. So again, we'll see. I hope everyone has a good night. Take care.